I'll screw with the colors and adjustments. All right, we're back. You may have to restart the stream to see if people see it. I don't know.
You guys still here? Can you hear me? That took a minute. The machine crashed, and the machine crashed. There was nothing I could do. Couldn't do anything. And it took for whatever reason, the webcam wouldn't come back up after we got everything back online. But yeah, we could play a clip. We could play a clip if that's what you want. I think we can play clips. I don't know. I'm not sure what's working over here. Craig is going to work on something downstairs. He had to come upstairs and take over. Let's see. What clip? Just check and see if the clips play. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like I can't play a clip. Clip 8. No clips. Wait, hold on. Let's try it this way. Clip 7. Oh, there's a clip. Okay.
In the UK, a man has been found guilty of trying to steal the most important document in British history, the Magna Carta. The incident happened at Salisbury Cathedral. The BBC's Duncan Kennedy has all the details.
Magna Carta, the document that helped create modern justice. Mark Royden, the man who tried to thwart it. Watch the bottom. He arrives at Salisbury Cathedral wearing protective gloves. He then looks to the camera, revealing his identity. He then tries to disable the camera, but fails, and walks off towards the ancient document and attacks it. This is what he did with a hammer. He puts 3 holes in the cabinet holding Magna Carta, but can't break through. Royden then makes off, still holding what's believed to be the hammer. But he doesn't get far, as outside the cathedral, staff and members of the public
I've not resisted one.
All right. Make a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Royden is taken into custody.
The pain that was assaulted.
It was such a striking event, the cathedral has now put the damaged display cabinet on show as part of Magna Carta's extraordinary 805-year history. After his arrest, Royden has suggested to police that the document was fake.
Well, as you can see, the glass has now been replaced and the 3,500-word document is safe once again. It all comes at the end of a court trial, which itself is based on the concept of justice that's enshrined in Magna Carta.
And just as Magna Carta also intended, Mark Royden was treated like everyone else in the land, with his legal rights guaranteed, proving that for 8 centuries it's remained a document that's helped put the rule of law before the law of the ruler.
Two mics. I had 2 hot mics there for a second. Aha! Okay, so we're back, as I was saying, and that was, which clip was that? That was, the Magna Carta clip. I thought that was very interesting. Thought you guys might like to see that. Okay, so we have a Reefer Madness clip left, and we have a fucking Tiger clip. We have an update on the impeachment, and we have an update on the coronavirus. That's what we got left. And I will play that Hillary Clinton clip again if you want, where she's using the Secret Service to shield her from having to accept the paperwork from Tulsi Gabbard's lawsuit for $50 million for defamation of character. Fucking hero. Hero girl that girl. Hero she is. Okay, so the phone lines are open, and if anybody wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397, 805 Mox News. Or else you could probably use a dab after that last breakdown. I'm sure Craig could use one. But he's needed one for like the last 6 months, so. It's cool. Every once in a while he has a little piece of taffy, and that works for him. I got him a tin of mints too. He seems to like the mints also. Hey, look at that. We got a caller.
Who wants to take this call?
Hello, caller.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Is this Cody?
No.
Is it Trent?
No.
Who is this?
This is, John.
Hey, John. Thanks for calling.
How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm making it. So, like, do you like news and shit?
Are you new to this channel, John?
Yes.
Okay. I posted over 70,000 news clips on YouTube over the last 17 years.
So I got a topic, and it needs to be discussed for sure.
Uh-huh.
So, what do you think about the pornographic movies?
What do you mean the pornographic movies?
Like the ones that are on in the movie theaters nowadays. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know anywhere where there's a pornographic movie theater in this state.
Oh. Well, could I look one up and maybe tell you about it?
Well, I don't understand. What is it? What is your point? Hello? Oh, he hung up. The pornographic movies. Now, I have not seen a porno theater in Seattle for a good 10 or 15 years. There used to be one down on First Ave. I can't remember what it was called. I don't know of any other ones. I never went in there. Not my bag, baby. But I think that porno is an excellent example of freedom of expression, and that it also, has a whole lot of other different qualities that make it free speech, and that people shouldn't be messing with porno. If you don't love freedom of speech, then why are you living in America? If you don't love freedom, and all you want to do is take away other people's freedom, go to some other country. That's not what this country is about. So, I'd love to have a caller. The telephone number is 805-669-6397. I guess you can't. Hey, Craig, you can't see the phone number because this please stand by thing is in the way. Hey, Craig, you can't see the phone number because the please stand by thing is in the way. He's working on the stuff. So so that's why I'm telling him, because he's got control of the mouse, so I can't really do anything. But please call now. It's 805-669-6397. Operators are standing by. That would be me, your host of your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. Moxie. and I'd love to have a discussion with you guys. I mean, this has always been my favorite part of the YouTube. Is the conversations that we have about the videos, the conversations that we've had about what's happening in the world. Hello, caller.
Hey, Max, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing well. I got some things done today before it started raining again, and that was encouraging, and it is raining right now, so winter continues in our kind of rainy winter here in the Pacific Northwest.
I think it's going to get a whole lot more rainy the next couple days, bud.
Yeah, I know. It's like I mentioned before. I think it's attributed to the warm temperatures on the surface of the Pacific Ocean, and it just means that more moisture is picked up more easily. The other thing I noticed today here in Olympia was it was like 50 or 55 degrees or something like that. So it was pretty warm for this early in the year. And anyway, like you said, it's going to keep raining. So keep your galoshes and your raincoat out, right? When you go walk the DOG.
Oh, when I go to walk the dogs, it's so funny. People will walk past me with umbrellas and stuff, and I'll be like, umbrella! That's how you people walk in the rain. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I keep it in the garage. I probably should keep it in the car or near the door because it is useful. But, you know, it's kind of clunky when you walk into some place and you have an umbrella with you. It's always kind of an extra thing you have to carry.
Well, it's a little it's a little tricky having 2 dog leashes and an umbrella and picking up dog poo at the same time. So.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I found a couple of cop stories that I want to share with you about corrupt cop stories. The first one was from a site called, and beware, listeners, it's called governmentslaves.news. And I don't know how legit it is, but it's an interesting story from the 30th of January, from today. It says, not one, not two, but 30 state troopers fired for cheating on exam to become cops. That's the headline. It says, dozens of cops in Georgia are tarnishing the badge once more after they were all fired this week. According to reports, 30 troopers with the Georgia State Patrol are now unemployed because they were found to have cheated on the test to become cops. Hardly an isolated incident. McDonough, the Commissioner of Department of Public Safety and head of DSB, and the entire class of students with the 106th Trooper School is no longer after they cheated during an online test for speed detection in October of 2019. Let that sink in. The entire class conspired to cheat on an exam to become cops. Every single one of them was okay with fraudulently achieving their police status through conspiracy and cheating. It's a punch in the gut, McDonough told reporters on Wednesday. This goes to our very core values. And listeners can find the rest of that story at governmentslaves.news. But, you know, that authoritarian kind of like, and it's interesting because you're supposed to abide by the rules and the laws, right? If you want to become a police officer, or even if you want to become like an FBI agent or something, right?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to become an FBI agent, like, dude, and they put you in a room, and 30 people in the room said, let's all cheat on this exam at the same time. Don't you think that would be kind of like a psyop test to see who the one person in the room was who would say, I don't think that's a good idea. Let's all just take the test. Right?
I think that'd be a great test for you to have with people like FBI agents. You know, I think they should definitely have to go through some kind of a cheating type test. You know, see
I think so too. Just a little bit of integrity in a real situation where they don't know whether the people around them are actors or whether they're real. You know, just to sense who they are.
Yeah.
Considering they're going to be dealing with the general public for the next 20 years of their life, you know, on the public dole, I'd like to know that the person has some integrity. And I'm not afraid, like, while they're in cop school, for them to be exposed to those kinds of hypotheticals. Right?
Well, it seems, Chris, that part of the police officer's job is to lie. You know, as far as I can tell, they lie. They lie and they lie and they lie. It's like they're professional liars. It's like that's what they're paid to do, and it doesn't matter if they're under oath or not. And you know, it's a really messed up thing. You know, that's been my personal experience when I've had to deal with cops on a professional level. Is that they're just fucking full of shit in order to get you into a very bad situation.
Yeah, my strategy for survival, you know, as my 34 years as an adult or something, has been avoidance of the police. First strategy, avoid the police. If interacting with the police, it's a case-by-case situation, depending on where I am or what situation I'm in. So I can't just make a general rule about how I behave with the police, because it is contingent on where I am and what the situation is. But generally, avoidance is the safest strategy. Have no interaction with them at all, because they're very unpredictable.
Like rabid dogs.
Yeah, they can just make a random decision. If you invite them into your house or invite them into your automobile, you know, they can just make random decisions very quickly that will have a long-term effect on your life for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So, I think it's better to side with caution and watch some of those YouTube videos about what to do when you encounter the police that civil liberties lawyers put out. And there's quite a few of them. They're like, 10-minute instructional videos about if you're pulled over by the police, how to go about dealing with it. And I think young people, especially newer drivers, you know, between the ages of 16 and 20, they should be forced to watch that shit in school. Like, you need to understand what your rights are as a 17-year-old driving around, and when you have, you know, how you can let the police into your car or not. Kids should know that stuff, I think.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a driving thing. I mean, kids at 12 years old should probably be watching videos like that, just so they know what their rights are when the cops approach them and try and act like they're the boss of them, because they're not the boss anymore, the boss of a 12-year-old, than they are the boss of me, and nobody's the boss of me except for me.
I was fortunate when I went to high school that in the state of Illinois, where I was raised, Illinois government was mandatory. So for whatever, I think it's like 12 weeks or something, kids had to take a class where they understood, U.S. government and Illinois government as part of like their education, part of their like social science curriculum. And I think that's a good idea. And in those classes, they should learn how to, you know, ordinary citizens should learn about how to protect their civil liberties, you know, when they're in situations with the police.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
There was another story. This was from CBS News, and it's from the 28th of January. And I didn't know that this had happened, and I don't know if you have already played a clip of it. But it's from CBS News, and it says, "Man who'd been handcuffed fatally shot by officer in police car," and it's from Maryland. Did you hear about that?
I did not see that.
We didn't see a news clip about that.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so a man who had been handcuffed with his arms behind his back by police in Maryland was shot and killed inside of an officer's cruiser on Monday, according to Prince George's County police officers. They located the driver, and this is kind of suspicious. They smelled what they thought was the odor of PCP from his car, and believed he was under the influence, Cotterman said. According to CBS Washington, D.C. affiliate WUSA, the suspect was buckled into the front passenger seat of the vehicle, which Cotterman said is normal for Prince George's County Police. The officer got in the driver's seat.
Not for people you think is on PCP, it's not normal.
Oh, right. Like, everybody gets put in the cage in the back seat. But that is fucking normal.
Yeah.
If you think a person is psychotic on PCP and they voluntarily get in the front seat of your cruiser and you help them with the buckle and they're, like, a passenger in your car.
Yeah.
That is kind of strange, right?
Mm.
But anyway, at the end of the day, the man was shot multiple times by the officer's service weapon. Police spokesman said officers performed life-saving measures and took a man to the hospital. He died a short time later. They haven't identified the suspect because family members haven't been notified. Wasn't caught on a body camera video because the officer didn't have one, Cotterman said. Investigators were looking for surveillance cameras in the area that could have recorded it. And then there was another story. Again, it was from CBS News, and it was the same day or the following day. And it's a follow-up article. It says, Maryland cop charged with murder in the shooting of handcuffed man. And then it says, a Maryland police officer was arrested and charged with a second-degree murder Tuesday after the fatal shooting of a man who was handcuffed in a police cruiser, according to CBS WUSA TV. Corporal Michael Owen Jr. is also being charged with manslaughter and associated weapons charges in the deaths of William Green. So there might be some footage of that out there in the next couple of days. I'd like to see it. I think there is some footage like of the head cop in Maryland talking to the reporters.
They said there's no body cam video, but you know what? Usually there's dash cam videos that face both ways inside those cars. Right?
Yeah, I would think so. Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah, I know so.
How many fucking cameras there are?
Yeah, I know so.
Cameras looking all directions. So when a police car is going down the street, it's automatically taking a picture of everything in front of it.
Right, and if something goes down with somebody in the back, they know what happened. There's fucking cameras. It's like with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, the cameras failed. Bull fucking shit. Okay?
Yeah.
What do you think? We're stupid? We're new today? Give me a fucking break.
Absolutely. Jeffrey Epstein was, there was something wrong there, because not only were the cameras turned off, but the guards were asleep, and, there were lots of problems with that. So there were a couple of Stop the Drug War news stories about drugs that were interesting. First of all, on marijuana policy from stopthedrugwar.org, it says Bernie Sanders could use executive order to end the federal marijuana prohibition. Aides to the senator and Democratic presidential contender Sanders have presented Sanders with a list of executive orders that he could use to unilaterally change federal policy, including one that would direct the Department of Justice to legalize marijuana at the federal level. That's interesting. So he's already endorsed legalizing drugs, but that's interesting that he could do that without Congress.
Yeah, well, someone said that he's vowed within the first 100 days to do some type of executive order that basically decriminalizes marijuana in the United States. Yeah.
So in Virginia, there was a marijuana decriminalization bill that advanced, would decriminalize marijuana and hash oil for adults, approved Wednesday by the Senate Judiciary Committee. Now heads to Finance and Appropriations, and if it passes there, it goes to a Senate for vote, but it's moving along in Virginia. Finally, in Cleveland, Ohio, the City Council approved marijuana decriminalization measures, and the City Council voted 15-2 to approve a measure that would eliminate fines and jail time for low-level marijuana possessions as low as 200 grams, no penalty.
Nice.
The legislation still needs to be approved by Mayor Frank Jackson, who previously expressed support for it. So, again, more news about the gradual decriminalization/legalization of cannabis.
That's good news, man. Headed the right direction, finally.
Asset forfeiture, that was another story. In South Carolina, prosecutor to appellate circuit court judge ruling that civil asset forfeiture law is unconstitutional.
Thank God.
In one state, 15th Circuit Solicitor Richardson filed notice this week that he intends to appeal a local judge's ruling that the state's civil asset forfeiture law is unconstitutional. Oh, so it's the Attorney General appealing a judge's ruling. that the forfeiture law is unconstitutional under both state and federal law. The move comes a month after the circuit court judge, Stephen John, reaffirmed his August ruling. John's decision struck down civil asset forfeiture in his district, but the appeal decision would apply statewide. So, there you go. How fucking authoritarian it is like the government. It's so authoritarian that even when they lose a court case, the Attorney General or the lead attorney of the state of South Carolina feels compelled to argue for civil asset forfeiture, right?
Against constitutional rights, just being told that it was unconstitutional, which means it's not American, and the police state fucking stooges, bureaucrats, continue to push for these un-American bullshit laws.
Well, it certainly isn't about freedom of choice or the ability to make decisions on your own or anything like that, or your property, your right to do as you please. It's a lot about control. Finally, one other story, and then this will probably be the last one, but it also is from Stop the Drug War, and it's an international story. It says, Colombia cocoa farmers plan most mass protest as counter-narcotic strategy collapses. Cocoa farmers are demanding the resignation of Crop Substitution Program Director Hernando London after he claimed that, quote, coca substitution leaders have not been assassinated, end quote. The Cocoa Growers Federation says at least 56 community leaders promoting crop substitution programs have been killed since the program started in March of 2017. The coca growers said they were fed up with the bullshit of President Ivan Duque's administration and would join national strikes set for next month. Duque's anti-coca policy faces collapse if the crop substitution program is not executed, because it then cannot resume aerial spraying of coca crops, according to the Constitutional Court. Without voluntary eradication and aerial spraying, only labor-intensive and easily reversed manual eradication could be used, and 80% of the destroyed crops are replanted. So, that is an interesting story. You know, not that activists are being killed by drug dealers. That's fucked up. And I think I mentioned last week or the week before that there's been an indigenous or like an anti-government activist, social activist killed in Colombia almost every single day for this year. Like 21 people or 25 people have been killed, like almost one a day.
Yeah.
They've just been murdering these people. And this government is propped up by the U.S. government. And this is also the government that is like going with the helicopters over the jungle and destroying the coca farms, small coca farms, big coca farms, just spraying defoliants all over this pristine jungle, right?
Yeah.
Poisoning the rainforest to try and prevent drugs, and then the drug from being produced, but then the drugs end up being sold to like people who work on Wall Street and people who work in Hollywood and people who work, in Silicon Valley, people who can afford to spend, $150 a day on a coke addict, right? So it's just all twisted. Like all of these rules, all of these people being murdered just for some commodity that people are going to use regardless of whether it's legal or illegal. It's just the costs are much higher to the forest, to the people, even to the consumer in this current setup. It's fucked up.
Yeah, the black market is horrible. The creation of the black market by the drug war is horrible. We don't need, they talk about the children. We have to protect the children, but the facts is that we're adults and we don't need a nanny state telling us how to live our lives. And it doesn't work. Okay. Anybody who wants heroin can go get heroin. Pretty much in all 50 states. Okay, so the drug war does not work, and like you said, there's this horrible, the poisoning of the forest, you know, to defoliate this beautiful forest so that we can take down a couple of coca plants, is so fucking sick and twisted too. The people running this drug war have to be fucking taken out. Okay, it's just fucking idiotic. They're the worst people in the world, and all they care about is themselves and their own fucking power, and we all know it. Yeah, go ahead.
In addition to the pollution, like because it's illicit to produce, instead of having some clean facility, near an airport or in an industrial center, an industrial park where everything is monitored and is clean. These coca processing plants use toxic chemicals, and are pushed into remote areas of the forest as well. So there's chemical spills, just like methamphetamines in the United States, because the process of making the meth, requires using chemicals and requires secrecy. It gets pushed to like the furthest places where it causes the most environmental damage because nobody's going to clean it up. So you drive through poor states like, in rural Missouri or in, rural Arkansas, and you just see houses that are burnt down because nobody wants to sell the house because it's a toxic site because it used to be a meth lab.
Yeah.
That happens all over the United States, and that's also like an indirect consequence of the drug war.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of land and property is not even usable anymore.
Yeah. The drug war just doesn't work, and it's not a war on drugs. Clearly, it's a war on the people, your neighbors. And if it were not for the drug war, they would be otherwise law-abiding citizens. But instead, they have to fucking act like criminals who have to hide their lifestyles or else lose their fucking jobs and get thrown in jail, have their homes taken away, their children taken away. It's fucking this. Yeah, the land of the free, my ass.
Yeah, I was, I've been in this process of like getting rid of shit and dealing with moving and all kinds of different things. I got a break. There's a garage sale which I can take things to, which is going to donate a sister city of Olympia in Nicaragua that activists have been supporting for 25 years, and they're looking for donations. So it's a great way for me to get rid of a pickup truck load of stuff. I'm going to feel really good about it doing that. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much more to add, Max.
Okay, Chris.
I'm a little out of it.
No, that's great. I'm glad that you called. You always have something good to add, and we really appreciate it.
All right, well, have a good night, and good luck with the rest of the calls.
Okay, thanks a bunch. And that's our buddy Chris from Olympia, and he does always have something good to add for the show, so we really appreciate that. Let's see. So if anybody wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397. And the Do Not Disturb sign is off, so I will pick your call up right away. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's always better when you are here. In fact, it would be completely meaningless without you. So that's how much you mean to me. Especially the callers. It is a call-in show, so please feel free to call at any time. I don't have any UFO videos. I'm always keeping my eyes open for UFO videos, but they're kind of rare these days. Hello, caller.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Who is this?
This is Rajan.
Rajan, that's a beautiful name.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm good. What's going on?
Not much. I was listening to that last conversation. He said $150 a day for coke addiction. Those are rookie numbers.
I don't know. How much does cocaine cost these days?
Very expensive. Very expensive.
Oh, yeah. What's an 8-ball go for?
I have no idea. But anyways, I was going to talk about the coronavirus.
Okay.
It was a topic of discussion the other day.
Sure, it's a topic of discussion every day until it goes away.
For sure. I looked up the symptoms, and I suffer from a majority of them.
Well, you should look up hypochondria and see if you suffer from that also.
What would that be?
Look it up.
Okay. I will get on that, but I was going to say, should I go to the doctor? What would you recommend?
Do you have a doctor that you regularly go to?
Definitely.
Well, I would call him and consult him or her because I'm not a doctor.
Well, one of the symptoms I was very worried about was diarrhea.
Cha. Well, then you should probably address that symptom because otherwise it's going to turn out bad for you. Diarrhea is nothing to mess with. It's a serious thing.
Most definitely. I was wondering if I had eaten too much fast food or if it was coronavirus, but
I'd give up
I
the fast food if you can.
And I enjoy your show a lot, sir.
Right on. Thanks very much for calling. I appreciate it.
See you, Mark.
Okay, see ya. And okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Love you.
The do not disturb is off if you'd like to call. He's a very nice man, Rasham. Is that right, Rasham? But the coronavirus again. Don't fear the coronavirus. The flu is something that's much bigger threat to Americans, and we don't even think twice about the flu. Okay, so and I played that video for you earlier. If you didn't see it, the flu is a much bigger threat to Americans than the coronavirus, and so, in a couple of weeks, just give it a couple of weeks. That's all I'm saying. And the reason I'm talking to guys like this is because I played a clip the other night, and there was this girl from the University of Washington, and crying, and she had a face mask on, and she was talking like she was worried she was never going to see her mom again. It's fucking crazy. Hello, caller.
Yes, Mr. Marks, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
I am doing wonderful.
Right on. What's on your mind?
What's on your mind?
I don't know. I try and keep it pretty blank.
Well, when was the last time you smoked?
The what now?
When was the last time you smoked?
A smoke?
A smoke, yes. When was the last time you smoked?
What about a smoke?
When was the last time you smoked?
Oh, I don't know. It's like a half hour ago or something.
You need to take another one.
I will in just a minute. I have one ready. Here it is. It's ready. It looks like a bunny or something. Has bunny ears. Maybe it's a bird. Come on, fucking cunt won't. Stupid fucking camera. Anyway, I have one. I'm ready. I get to it in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, got that right. All right. Well, thanks a lot for calling. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you again soon. Okay. Stay cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little bunny dab. It is a little bunny dab. Okay, the do not disturb sign is off on the phone. So if you want to call, I'm going to take this little bunny dab here in just a minute. Come on, you. Oh. There it is. Where's the fucking bunny ears? I can't make the bunny ears look right. I need a different camera. It's a good camera. I just think, I got good lighting. I got like professional lighting in here. Got a beautiful green screen. We got this lovely lake behind us. Our snow falling, trees in the forest. What a life. What a life. And we have you. You beautiful people are here joining us for your Wake and Bake news at 7 p.m. So nice of you to share your valuable time with us. I really appreciate it. This dab's for all of you, in case you didn't know. And if you can, you should follow me and do exactly as you see. Because that's what it means to be an adult in a free society. To be able to make up your own mind as to what you want to put in your body. So the government to go take a hike. I don't give a fuck about you and your bullshit laws. You are not the boss of me, Mr. Man. And the sooner we get that straight, the sooner all of us can have a nice little life where we share lovely things together. The problem is, Mr. Man don't want to share. So Mr. Man puts his foot down on the back of your neck and says, you can't have freedom, or maybe you can have this little bit of freedom that I say you can have. But if you go outside that little bit of freedom I say you can have, I'll take away all your freedom. That's and fuck you. Go for it, dude. You know, I mean, this is my whole life. That's been my whole life right there. You know, if you step out of line, we are so gonna take away all your freedom. You know, and for a guy who, you know, is not real good at coloring inside the lines, and never really was, you know, that's a very, very dangerous place to be. So I'm very lucky guy to be free and be able to share this time with you. So I really appreciate it, because I know all of you are free people too, and I appreciate you choosing to share your freedom here with me. So you know, this dab's for you. I feel much better now. Okay, so what do you think? Should we play a clip? You want the I know we should do the Reefer Madness clip, right? Or should we do the coronavirus clip? Which one you want? Reefer Madness or coronavirus? Reefer Madness it is. Clip number 2 coming right up. Here we go.
Okay, well, we'll keep you updated. For now, a new study released by AAA reveals that the number of people testing positive for marijuana after a deadly crash has doubled in our state. Callie Greenberg has more on this study that could have national implications.
The study was released this month, and it looks at a 10-year period of deadly crashes. AAA did this study, and what they did is they looked at people who tested positive for THC that were involved in those fatal crashes. In the 5 years after the legalization of marijuana, they say the number of people testing positive for THC involved in deadly crashes jumped significantly. In fact, that was roughly 1 in every 5 fatal crashes in 2017. Now, if you take a look at your screen, this graph shows you the increase in the past 10 years. That line down the middle, that marks December 2012. That's when marijuana became legal. Now, study shows marijuana can slow reaction times, it can harm concentration, and there are a lot of unknowns because it affects each person differently. Right now, it's also hard to measure marijuana or THC in a person's system, meaning when it comes to knowing whether or not someone is impaired, it's hard to set a legal limit like there is with alcohols. So the study, it could have national implications. What AAA says is that it raises important safety concerns. And with this data from Washington State, they're hoping other states who are considering legalizing marijuana use this 10-year study as part of their consideration, especially as they head into that 2020 legislative session. Back to you.
I mean, you could listen to that and think, okay, this is cut and dry. This was a bad idea. I mean, I wonder what the counter argument to all of this would be.
Well, I mean, notice they didn't present alcohol statistics. This is also something that they didn't track. I mean, I'm sure you could say, injuries or even, serious injuries from e-bikes have skyrocketed. We didn't used to have them available. You had to seek them out. So I think, like it or not, the fact that it's publicly, readily available, it's legal, people can go get it.
Everyone's not going to be responsible, just
shock,
like with alcohol or anything else.
Right. More to come on that.
Is it ever cut and dry?
It's
never cut and dry, right? It can never just be a simple
Is it going to be dry this weekend?
It's always cut and dry weather.
It's a professional segue.
It's kind of dry, but then it's kind of not. See?
Okay, here it goes.
Dry.
Here's the spin.
Okay, so more reefer madness. And I think this is the thing with the reefer madness now is we're going to get a lot of this driving. Oh, I played the clip last week or the week before where they were saying that even after the THC is all out of your bloodstream, marijuana still makes you. People who use marijuana are still not good drivers. Less better drivers than someone who blah blah blah. I played that last week or the week before, and now they're playing this one from the AAA. And again, they said specifically this was a AAA study. And last week or the week before, when I played that clip, I pointed out that I believe these studies are coming from the insurance companies. Right, they're the ones that are paying for these studies to be done, and of course, when you pay for a study to be done, you say we're looking for this type of outcome, and you get that type of outcome because you're the one paying the bill, so you get the outcome that you want. Especially if you're paying, enough. So the insurance company, when you see these studies that keep coming out about driving and marijuana, know that it's the insurance companies, and what they're seeing is they're seeing these states where marijuana has been legalized, that if they produce enough of these studies, that they'll be able to go, oh, well, we have to charge more in those states where marijuana is legal. For driving insurance, right? Be my bet. I would bet money that all these studies. Of course, this one said came from the AAA. So I don't know if you'd call AAA an insurance company, but kind of. I bet it's connected to one or the other insurance companies. It might even be considered an insurance company. It's a type of insurance, certainly. Although I don't know why they would be, overly concerned. Why is AAA getting involved? They just make it so if you need to get your car towed, you get your car towed. Hate the reefer madness stuff, man. Okay, so hey JK. It's just Katrina. Okay, no, just Katrina. Just Katrina. That's it. Just Katrina. That's a lot of people. Big Pharma is so dangerous, man. And they're the ones that are keeping these laws. As I was talking about earlier, I was talking about the gaming. Like, they want to allow sports betting in Washington states now. And the people in Olympia, whoever it is that's in charge of that, is now trying to decide how to make that happen. Sports betting, right? Sports betting in one fucking football game, one stupid fucking football game, you know, some guy, some woman can lose their family's entire life savings, okay? And then they go, oh, well, we have to make sure that we protect the children from, you know, doing this, participating in this. You're not protecting the children when one of their parents can go and lose their life savings in one fucking football game. Okay? And I'm a big freedom guy. But I say this because these are the same people that are in charge of not allowing Washington state residents to grow cannabis. Okay? If you have a medical marijuana prescription, you can grow cannabis in Washington where it's legal. Been legal a long time here to have marijuana, to sell marijuana, you know, and they want to act like somehow it's a threat. Well, we have to think of the children. We can't have people just growing. Like it's a threat to have people growing flowers in their backyard. That somehow is just not allowed. You know, the people of Washington state voted and said, get your fucking stinking laws off of our weed, and these fucking petty tyrants in Olympia won't let my people grow. And I'm just fucking tired of these petty tyrants who want to tell us how we're supposed to live our lives, what we can and can't. Here's a little bit more freedom for you. You know, these pieces of shit in Olympia, these fucking petty tyrants, are in the process of trying to decide whether or not to ban all concentrates, all cannabis concentrates in Washington state right now. That's how much they hate your fucking freedom. That's how much they hate the of Washington state. The people that are supposed to be representing them are putting more and more laws. The voters said, get your fucking laws off our weed, and they just keep putting more and more laws on it. Fuck you. Jay Inslee, you're the biggest, giantest piece of shit on the planet. Fucking liberal, fucking Nazi. We elect the most liberal governor in the United States. We didn't do that so that you wouldn't listen to the will of the voters. You fucking piece of shit. Okay? This is the facts. Okay? You cannot take our freedom. All you can do is make us into criminals for us exercising our freedom of choice as top of the food chain on this planet. God-given right to decide what the fuck I want to do with my life. I'm a criminal. I'm a threat to society. That's fucking A right, I'm a threat to society, because I come out here and I tell society, fuck this goddamn government. Straight to hell. It's all full of shit, and it's ours, and we can take it back, and we can burn it to the fucking ground, and then rebuild it the way we want. No fucking Republicans, no fucking Democrats. Fucking outlaw those scumbags from start to finish. Our fucking government, we do what we want. Tired of this fucking tyranny bullshit. Is there no callers? You guys have fucking telephones? Okay? The fucking telephone number is 805-669-6397. Okay? I can go play another clip, and then we're out of clips, and then I can go home. Okay? Or you can call. Okay? Operators are standing by. Or I can rant and rave about what a piece of shit government the United States has. Would you prefer that? Ha! 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 Or I could take another dab. I'll take another dab. What the hell? Sounds like I could use... I earned one after that. I'm just messing with you. You guys don't gotta call. Don't call. You know, don't call. Whatever. I can talk forever. If that's what you want, just to hear the sound of my voice. But this is supposed to be about us having a discussion. You know, that's why I'm doing this. In order, because, again, my favorite part of YouTube has always been the amazing conversations that we've had. That's always been my favorite part of YouTube, but YouTube, as of late, has become
Press 1 to take this call.
seriously censored. By, like half of the comments off of YouTube are now censored. So it's basically impossible to have a conversation. So that's the whole idea behind this show. So that we can still have the conversation, but it's not, I can't have it with you if you don't call. Caller, how are you?
Well, you sound distressed, so I wanted to call and, let you know I feel your pain.
Right on, will you? So you're disgusted by our government also then?
Oh, it's not my government.
Well, technically it's our government.
Well, by forced arrest and coercion, I mean, they keep, pounding me in this peg, it's like, I'm a round kind of guy, and they keep trying to pound me in this square hole.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Under the Atlantic Charter, we have our own choice of government, according to Article 3. And I choose the public, not these private acts and acts of commerce. I mean, do you understand the difference between private acts and acts of commerce and real law?
I don't know. It seems a little like a gray area.
Well, that's kind of the scam the attorneys want to run on you, that, you need us to interpret the law for you.
Right.
But,
what's your name?
Bo?
Bo?
Yeah, they call me Bo. I got a little YouTube channel too, and, I follow big guys like you. My inspiration.
Well, thanks, Bo. I hope you're enjoying your social media. I just, I've always, like I said, I've always enjoyed the conversations that the videos seem to generate. But as of late, the YouTube has just gone into censorship overdrive, and it's really difficult to have a conversation. And people seem so angry, but you get them on the phone and it's not so much that way, We can talk.
Yeah, it can be quite aggravating, I know.
Where are you calling from, Bo?
My house.
Right on. Where is that located?
Well, United States, lowercase. It's not to be capitalized. I don't like to be capitalized.
Okay.
See, these capitalists came in here, 1776, and said, "Oh, we got a constitution for you." And, well, before that, let's back up a little bit to the Articles of Confederation. Have you ever heard of the Articles of Confederation?
I have.
Okay, Article 1 says the style of this confederacy shall be known as the United States of America. Okay, so that's what it says. Now, let's break down the words. Style means a chain of events, right?
Okay.
And a confederacy, in Black's Law Dictionary, first edition, one of the definitions of a confederacy is a criminal enterprise.
Huh.
So we came in right away and it said that, there's going to be this chain of events in the United States of America. So the United States of America is not even a country, it's a chain of events, and it's a criminal enterprise. So how do you like that, for starters? That's the opening act.
Well, it's an interesting perspective for sure.
Well, I'm only going by their documents. And all these guys are putting their documents out. They put this stuff in writing. You know, but going back to 450 BC with the 12 tables of Nicaea, there's table 9, the public law, and it says, laws of personal exception shall not be proposed. That's right out of the bat. So how many problems do you think that alone would solve?
You know, I think if they just did what they say that they're there to do, that would solve a lot of the problems, man. But that's not what they're doing. You know,
they say what they're there to do. They said they're going to be a criminal enterprise.
Well, you know, that's not what they say when they take office and they put their hand on the Bible and they say that they're there to protect the Constitution. You know, I mean, that's what they say that they're there to do. And the simple fact is that none of them do that. So.
Well, that's not specification for the citizen. You got to make it sound good, you know. I mean,
go ahead.
It's like the puppy that's getting euthanized, you know. That veterinarian that's carrying out the procedure is petting them real nice and giving them that shot and putting them down.
I think that's the way the government looks at us too.
Well, they said so in their documents. Yeah. You just read their stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I really don't claim that form of government. I don't claim that as my government. I claim, I just decide to self-govern.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good way to go. You know, I again have said again and again, this government's bullshit laws don't apply to me. You know, and they never have since I was little. Fuck those people. I don't care what your fucking laws is. I know how to walk through this lifetime and not be a horrible human being. I don't need some nanny state government telling me how to do it. Okay, I'm not a little fucking child who's gonna fucking shoplift and do all this fucking petty bullshit. I'm a good person. I want to go and live my life, but every fucking aspect of my life is being constantly, governed by these people who seem to view my perspective of personal liberty and freedom as a threat to them personally. I don't know. I hear you, Bill.
Yeah, they're administrating you.
Yeah. Well, they're acting like it. They're not doing anything to me.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But again,
yeah, go ahead.
On the backside, what are they doing trading on your securities? You know how many funds they generate off your back just by having all these numbers and tasks they train for you at birth?
Sure. Again, this is. I don't care for super rich people. Most people love the super rich and can't wait to be part of them. And I don't like that. I don't want anything to do with those people. In fact, I blame them for what's wrong with the world because Donald Trump said again and again, I own these politicians. I own senators. I own members of Congress. All the rich people do. So it's the rich that are keeping us in these endless wars of choice based on lies, because if that's not the way they wanted it, they could stop it because they own the politicians. Including the drug war.
Exactly, and the drug war was a big, in-your-face example of what private acts and acts of commerce are about. Because every time they pass a bill, they're charging it onto the citizen, and they keep getting you to sign up as a U.S. citizen on your W-4s and your 1040s and all that, and getting you to consent. You ever wonder why you got to keep signing that shit every year? It's because, it's something they made up. It's a statutory fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
I mean, the attorneys have taken over the Constitution and put like a matrix over it. And so it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
There's no constitutional courts anymore, except for maybe the Supreme Court. That is yet to be seen, in my opinion. But the point of the matter is, their tribunals, they were completely, the last Constitutional Court disappeared in 1982, but this all stems from the National Security Act in 1947. Everything was recreated, military, the CIA, the FBI, all recreated under the National Security Act, and the courts. You gotta realize, everything is about the courts because we're all under, a bankrupt, depraved, federal state. It's everywhere in 1933. Okay,
Yeah, I hear you, Bo. I understand. This government is just so out of control and so not what it claims to be. I want to burn it to the motherfucking ground, dude. I don't want it to exist anymore. You know, I want to start over with something that actually represents the people.
Well, you can start by keeping up what you're doing. Self-govern. Okay, you know you're not a murderer, you're not a child rapist, you're not violating any real laws, okay? And as long as you maintain that, you have, under the restricted principle of sovereign immunity, you have sovereignty, okay? And they shouldn't be able to come out after you know, unless you violated some kind of real law. These attorneys have their, funded police and everything that is being driven by the upper entourage, like the bankers, you know. I mean, on the top level, law is just a smokescreen to the bankers.
Yeah, I agree. The rich and the super rich and the rules don't apply to them in any way.
Right. So we go back to the public law. We go back to, well, let's back up to Table 8, Article 27. These guild members shall have the power to make for themselves any rule that they may with, provided that they impair no part of the public law. Then starting with public law, laws of personal exception shall not be proposed. Then laws concerning capital punishment of a citizen shall not be passed except by a greatest assembly. The judix or an arbiter legally appointed who has been convicted of receiving money for declaring a decision shall be punished capitally. Now that's Article 3 of the public law. Judix is like a judge. All the judges under this U.S. justice system, whatever you want to call it, matrix, it's all based on commerce. And they have a duty to discharge the bankruptcy using the citizens as the surety. Now, do you see why judges do not, or the attorneys, the bar, the powers that be do not like the public law? Can you see that?
Yeah. They have their own separate laws, is what you're saying.
Private acts and acts of commerce.
Yeah. So the public law just get in the way.
Yeah, it's bad for them, but it's good for human beings. And I'd rather live under a voluntary community within, humanity than be ruled by these private acts and acts of commerce that these attorneys keep imposing, like force, coercion,
I hear it. I get it. I talk about freedom constantly, dude, and I get the duress thing too. I mean, I think we're all under kind of a constant form of duress, you know, with this police state and so many laws that we break every single day without even being aware of it. You know, it's just it's a giant mind fuck on the people, and I'm so tired of that being our government.
Right.
Because people feel it every single day, everywhere they're going. It's like you're saying, like I said, it's like we're under a constant form of duress in this country. You know, they've declared the United States a battlefield, literally, you know, in the war on terror. So basically, we're all enemy combatants or potential enemy combatants, which is the same fucking thing. You know, this is not a government of the people or for the people, and it's got to go.
Now, under the doctrine of election, you can choose, you know, to be a voter, and there's all sorts of ways to get you kind of into that scheme. Back in 2012, when I started down this path, the first thing I did is went and rescinded my voter's registration. I didn't want to be registered as a voter for the criminal enterprise and the human traffickers, which is what they are.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear it would be impossible for me to vote for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. You know, it would be absolutely impossible. For me to do something like that would be selling my fucking personal integrity and acting as if I give support to that person. There's just no way I would ever for 1 second give my support to either one of those people.
And it would be insane on its face.
Yeah. Yeah. It is insane. It's completely insane that the best people we can come up to that America can present to take over the most powerful job in the world. You know, is fucking Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Those are the best people that can represent America. Give me a fucking break, man. If those are the best people that can represent America, America is a horrible, horrible, horrible place.
Well, I don't even know what America is. It's a land mass, I guess. And there's
well, I mean the United States, man. I'm just talking about the United States.
United States of America and the United States, they're all different entities.
Yeah. All right, Bo. Well, thanks a lot. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, reality is stranger than fiction, I guess, is what I'll leave you with. But thanks for having me on, and hang in there, buddy.
I'm hanging in, Bo. Thanks a lot. I a lot of people wouldn't expect me to still be here, you know.
Yep, saving humanity.
All right, Bo. Good to hear from you. Thanks for calling. I hope you call back soon.
Take care and be well. You too.
You too. Bye. That's our buddy Bo calling from the good old USA, I guess, or U.S. He said, what did he say? He said, no capitals, USA. God damn it. Little something. Anyway, Little Satan. No, Little Satan's that other country. Alright, so you guys want to see a coronavirus update? Because we don't have to play that. I'm not here to spread the porn, the fear porn. I am simply trying to update you, try and make it so that you feel like, you get some news value out of the show, because it is a news program. This is your Wake and Bake news at 7 p.m. and I love you guys being here, and I always, it really makes me feel like a job well done when I show you guys something that's actually of value to you. So if you feel like a coronavirus, see, I just put it in there because it's like what everybody's talking about, and I don't want to be like, oh, I guess everybody's talking about the impeachment. I have an impeachment update too. Those are the last 2 videos that I have. So if you'd like to see either one of those videos, let me know. Otherwise, phone lines are open. It's 805-669-6397. Oh, we got a caller.
You need to press 1 to take this call.
Hello, caller. Oh, we lost our caller. But, as I was saying, that proves that the phone lines are open. And it's always nicer when you guys call. Again, that's what this is all about for me, is starting a conversation, having a conversation, enjoying a conversation. Hello, caller.
Hey, Michael, we got to talk.
Okie doke.
Okay, so I know it's confusing because I'm not black and I'm not Russian, but there's this extra little K at the end of my name. It's Katrinka.
Katrinka.
Yeah, Katrinka.
Yeah, Katrinka.
Katrinka. Yeah. You were like, just Katrina, just Katrina.
I'm sorry.
I calling to give you a really hard. No, I just wanted to give you a hard time. Come on, we're not in 3rd grade. I don't really care. I mean, maybe I care. Maybe I need to rock you like a hurricane for that shit. I don't know.
Just Katrinka. I got it.
Are you having a good night? Are you having fun with all your callers?
JK.
Did you catch your breath after that,
JK, I am having a good life. And that is partially because of you. So you know.
Aw. Well, we're all in this together, you know. One day this war is going to end. I heard somebody say that. I don't know. I feel like I heard it a lot of times.
Yeah.
Now it just seems to have crawled into my psyche and made a nest.
It's got to end, you know. I mean, it's like the one little bit of hope that I have left in me, Katrinka, is that the war has to end one of these days, you know, and I want everybody else to have that little bit of hope in them too.
I do too. I mean, yeah. Hell yeah. You know what? Okay, I have to change the subject. That's really stoic and nice, but I saw a picture of you from 1997 today.
You did? Where'd you see that at?
Yes! In your business. What are you...
Was someone sitting on my lap at the time?
I was so amused at you, but no, not in this one, but
okay.
Send me that one.
Oh.
What I think is so funny is you have a really, I mean, I've known kind of about your governmentally checkered past for as long as I've been paying attention, but man, it's more amusing than I knew. I'm so amused by you, Mike.
I'm a major troublemaker, man. Like when I say
no, call it a professional fuss maker. That's what I say, professional fuss maker. You can do it for hire if the cause is good, right?
You can't afford me, but yeah, it's a higher calling. You know, it's about doing the right thing by the people. You know, I mean. I love Seattle, and that's why I got into a big row in Seattle, because I love Seattle, and the people were so nice to me in Seattle. When I first came here, I almost immediately was taken in by like an underground art scene here in Seattle, and they just took me under their wing and acted like I was one of them, and it felt amazing to me. So.
Okay, I have to ask you a personal question that I never thought I would be asking you specifically, but all of a sudden I feel like you might know.
Uh-huh.
Was it Courtney Love?
No.
Did she do it?
Courtney Love actually had something to do with it, but
God damn it, yes she did.
that's a long
Her music
story.
was terrible, and have you ever heard how cocky she would talk about it? That's a terrible combination.
So, but yeah, I love Seattle. I'm so glad. There really isn't anywhere else that I want to be. You know, my friend who wanted to go to Vietnam, who's not going to Vietnam anymore, he was like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "No."
Whoa. We got to talk about your friend. He has some confidence issues. If you're thinking about moving to a new country and you might turn to your friend and be like, "Hey, do you want to go with me?"
No.
You probably should not go.
He was just going to visit. He was just going to visit for a couple months. Yeah. He just
I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, he just wanted. He was going to go. He was thinking about moving there, but he just really wanted to. He's just looking for a trip. He's on vacation, or he never takes vacations basically in his whole life, and he was like, I never take vacations. I just want to go somewhere.
Has he ever been to my city? This is a bunch of horse squat. Did you tell him? No, you didn't. I know you didn't. That's fine. I'm not even offended, but you should tell him.
I told him that there's
all the real stuff around.
I told him that there's lots of cool places here. You know, like I said, I love this place. There's all these awesome places here. You don't have to travel. You don't have to get in a tin can with a bunch of sick people and travel. You know, in order to.
Don't say that. I have to fly to LA on Sunday.
Oh, I hate
We have
LA.
the coolest thing going on. We've got an art show going on.
Right on.
I was screaming Jamora in the chat earlier. Shout out to Jacob Jamora. Oh my God, I found God's gift to online marketing.
Nice.
It was just sitting there waiting for me. And he's like a fundamentally, profoundly good friend too. It's the weirdest shit. But I feel like Mox News helped me out with that. You want to know a true story? I would have never found this guy except I was supposed to be going to sleep. But I got a little noise alert in a hotel room in Vegas, and I just couldn't fall asleep. I had to get up. I had to go work. I had to go find Wi-Fi or people or food or something. And I got up, and I put on my headphones, and I listened to whatever Mox News thing had come through at 3 o'clock in the morning, and ran, and then it all went down. I found out that Jacob was still on site, even though I was 6 hours late, and now the rest is all history. Probably viewers don't give a shit about that, but I'm telling you, if you knew Jacob Jamora, you would give a shit.
That's awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. That's I love that I love that I'm in there somewhere. That's cool.
You are a very important piece of this. I have a really good feeling that we're about to do some projects that are just unstoppable. That's how I'm feeling about it. You have a team around you that is really inspired by you, Mike, and I think that is really important. And I think you always keep it straight and honest, and you're always super nice to me when I call and I want to be funny. So I appreciate you.
Well, Katrinka, you are, again, I have a really good life, and part of that is because of you, and I really appreciate you too. So thank you very much.
Well, I don't think it gets any better than that. God damn it, I'm getting off the phone. Sweet dreams.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you.
We'll get in a fight or something if we talk too long now.
When you come to Seattle, okay, I want to have food with you.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Ooh, what are we eating?
We can eat. I don't know. You like Thai? You like Chinese? What do you like?
Ooh, you already have me. It's perfect. That sounds perfect. I honest to God, I think Seattle is in like April.
Okay.
I probably will see you in April.
Okay, I can't wait.
All right. Talk to you then. Bye.
Okay, bye. That's our buddy JK. Just Katrinka. It's just Katrinka. Get it right. It's just Katrinka. And she is so nice. She's such a nice person. It's really, again, this is the thing. This is the thing about doing this all along, is that there's been so many good people who've come along and said that I've had some kind of a positive influence in their life by me just doing this thing that I do on YouTube, and seeing these good people. It's like Katrinka saying, there's all these good people here, and I have a team, and we're good. It's like you're my ninjas. You're my ninjas, and I can't wait until one of these days when we are able to actually get some ninja stuff happening here. And we will. Don't you worry about it. The time is coming. I can feel it in my bones. All right, so we got the do not disturb sign is off. And if anybody wants to make a call, you can do so. It's 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. I am gonna go. I'm gonna play a clip since no one's calling. If I get my mouse back, I'm gonna play a clip. Let's see. You guys want to see the impeachment update or the coronavirus update? Or are you good? Huh? You want to see either one of those? We don't have to see either one. If you want, it's just a matter of if you want to be... Is that a tiger? I didn't see a tiger. You didn't go tiger. Ah, tiger! Fucking tiger! If you want. There's no tiger. What are you guys talking about? Or else we can just call it a night. I got butterfly wings. Impeachment. Impeachment. Really? Okay, we'll do impeachment. I can play the impeachment thing. Oh, we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Michael, this is Steve McLaren. This is a miracle. I can't even believe it. I have finally gained access. You are not going to fucking believe where we are purporting from live currently. Michael, take a guess where we might be. We were in quarantine, but I tell you what, guess who fucking busted me out, Michael?
Who's that?
Michael. Super fucking Bullshitron is here currently with me right now.
No way.
No joke. Way.
I called him a pussy. I think that did it. When I called him,
I called him a pussy like 1,000 times. You did it once, and then boom, guess who's hanging out with me right now? Fucking Super Bullshitron in Hawaii. In fucking Hawaii. Oh, you wish we were in Hawaii. No, we're not. That would take way too much fucking energy. But in fact, we're in South America. We are in South America. We are in the Amazon, currently hanging out with a bunch of fucking anacondas. You're not going to fucking believe this. There's anacondas, there's caiman, there is all kinds of fucking lizards, there's all kinds of crazy shit. I'm fucking going back. This crazy fuck shoots green lasers out of his hands. We're like hanging out on the fucking Amazon right now. Like, he's like, okay, you're gonna give me shit? You're gonna fucking give me shit? Make me fucking bust you out of the motherfucking goddamn quarantine center? Are you kidding me? Well, now you're going to the Amazon. And this motherfucker made me go to the Amazon. Hey, Super Bullshitron! Fuck you, asshole! I don't really like to be here. I'm putting you on the news. Oh, I know you're standing over there thinking that you're hot shit holding the fucking anaconda right now. But you know what? Thank you, bro. This is the shit. You see, this is what happens when you have good friends. And you surround good people around you that want you to succeed. It's amazing. It's utterly amazing. That's why we're doing it. We're doing it live. We're keeping a positive avenue. We're keeping a positive attitude, whether you like it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, Michael, I tell you what, it's fucking hot as fuck down here. There's a lot of mosquitoes. There's a fucking bunch of fucking shit crawling around everywhere. But you know what? You manned up. And I'm telling you, you gotta motivate your friends once in a while. You need motivation in your life. Michael.
Yes, Steve.
Super Bullshitron. Michael wants to talk to you. I'm fucking talking to Michael. He don't want to talk to you. You want to talk to fucking Super Bullshitron, Michael?
No.
Yeah, I don't fucking either. Hey, Michael wants to talk to you. Hey. Hey, yeah, he wants to talk to you. Hello, this is Super Bullshitron.
Hey, thanks a lot for getting Steve out of quarantine.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, it's been fucking great. We're down here. I'd rather be back at my goddamn computer where I was content with my own life, not having to deal with a bunch of bullshit. I created my name. Hey, this is what nobody gives me credit for. I am a superhero. I have superhero powers. And so I gave my own self a name and a costume. And nobody even recognizes it. So I named myself Super Bullshitron. And Steve McClanahan thinks that he is some kind of a fucking reporter. And that he is just going across the entire planet and reporting the fucking news. And he's going to try to tell me that I'm losing my fucking mind. And now we're here in the fucking Amazon. And he's having a party. He's over there having fun. He's fucking swinging around. And he's like a fucking, oh, I just want to kick his goddamn ass. I'm not having fun. I am clearly not having fun. There's a lot of bullshit going on. I could be utilizing my time.
You got him. Look, you got
utilizing my time.
Got him out of quarantine
in front of a keyboard.
Yeah. So why don't you go do that? Why don't you go do that instead of standing around in the desert? Instead of standing around in the fucking jungle, whining like a fucking bitch.
Shows are a waste of time. Live call-in shows are a complete waste of time. That's why nobody on the internet, there's not one live call-in show that you can call in right now.
Keyboard.
None of them. Just go to your keyboard and
live your little life in front of your computer screen.
Don't let your voice be heard. It doesn't even matter. Nobody cares. That's what I'm doing. I'm fucking getting Steve out of here. I'm getting mad. Steve, I'm done talking. I am fucking done talking. Let's fucking take the fight. What up, Michael? This is Steve McClanahan. We're in the Amazon. There's lizards and snakes. We don't give a shit. Super Bullshitron. Dude. Seriously, do the green laser shit out of your hand and, like, chop that tree in half. Like, dude, come on. No! No! Not doing it! Come on, dude, come on! Why can't you do this? Why is it so fucking hard for you, man? Oh, my God, he's so fucking... He's stubborn. He loves being here. He's angry. It's so cool. Michael, we're bringing to you live from the Amazon. Hey, you know what? You know what's the most crazy shit about this? We missed court up there in Kansas City. Oh my God, Steve McClanahan has got a warrant out for his arrest in Kansas City. Shout out to everybody in Kansas City, ladies and gentlemen. This is Steve McClanahan. We're doing it. We're doing it live. We're keeping a positive attitude. And, I probably should cool it. Super Bullshitron he actually was kind of mad. Oh my God, big man, come on, bro.
Just tell him to go home.
We're friends.
Just tell him to go home. Just tell him to go home.
Tell him to go home and leave me here?
Yes.
No.
Steve, you do just fine on your own.
Oh my God! I have the Super Bowl on Sunday. I have to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, hurry up and get your priorities, man. You're fucking in the desert. What? You're in the jungle. Huh? You should be in Florida.
The desert jungle? What is that, Michael? Is it Iran or Iraq? I don't fucking know, Michael.
Yes, you do.
Jesus God, no. Is it America, Michael?
Don't give a shit. Get your ass to the Super Bowl.
You don't give a shit. Oh my God.
Get your ass to the Super Bowl. Told Super Bullshit-tron to go home.
You and fucking Super Bullshit-tron are fucking killing my buzz right now, Michael.
Well, get yourself to the Super Bowl, and I'm sure your buzz will be just fine.
I tell you what, do not touch the plants and do not eat the berries. Oh, fuck.
Okay? Get yourself to the Super Bowl. Get yourself to the Super Bowl.
You get yourself to the Super Bowl, Michael.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not a sports guy. You've been talking about it for months.
American history, Michael.
You've been talking about it for months.
He's going to watch the Super Bowl, and he's going to watch J-Lo shake that ass. Shake that ass.
I have zero interest in J-Lo.
Michael,
I couldn't have. It's not possible for me to have less interest in J-Lo than I have right at this moment.
Whatever, Michael. You're watching it, and you're doing it, and you're watching the goddamn Super Bowl because you have to see the San Francisco 69ers. I'm telling you.
I could not care less. I couldn't care less.
I thought that Seattle Seahawks were going to the fucking Super Bowl, but in fact, breaking news, I just found out yesterday, I'm a reporter, Michael. I don't know all the sports news like you do. Okay, well, fucking breaking news, Seattle Seahawks are not going to the Super Bowl this year. Oh, fuck! You know who's going? The San Francisco 69ers. It's unfortunate. But you know what? We're doing it. We're doing it live. We're still going to watch the game, even though we're sad. We're still going to watch the game. We're going to keep a positive attitude. We're going to have breaking fucking news updates because Super Bowl shit does! I am going to the Super Bowl whether you like it or not. Get off your fucking ass. Quit peeling the goddamn leaves off that stick. Okay, this is not that bad. This is not that bad. The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is done. Fuck you. Oh, Michael, I'm ready to get out of here.
Okay, Steve.
Be cool.
You can do it.
You want to talk Super Bullshit-tron again? Yeah, I know. He doesn't want to talk either.
Okay.
A bunch of people out here.
Tell Super Bullshit-tron, Mike says, to go home. And quit his fucking whining.
I'm not telling him that because I swear to God, I'm glad that he doesn't have a phone. He's not live streaming this shit right now because he might leave me here, okay? Jesus Christ, Michael.
You do better on your own, Steve.
Shut the fuck up, Michael.
You hate that guy.
I have to get the fuck... Do you know where the Amazon is, Michael? On a map? On the Earth?
Of course.
Oh my God, Michael. I wish I was in Hawaii. This is the opposite of Hawaii.
Okay, Steve.
Oh my fucking God.
All right, Steve. Well, I'm glad to hear you're out of quarantine.
Going on in Hawaii?
I hear you. I'm glad to hear you're
going on in Hawaii.
I'm glad to hear you're out of quarantine, Steve. All right.
Hey, well, that was fucking easy. I'm talking easy. I'm talking mucho, mucho, mucho caliente. Mucho, mucho pinche caliente.
Okay.
That's what that was.
Okay, Steve.
Mucho, mucho pinche caliente.
Thanks a lot for calling,
mucho,
Steve.
Mucho pinche caliente. We were fucking Super Bullshit-tron. We're doing that when we were running.
It's good to hear you're out of the quarantine. Okay. So I guess we'll talk again soon.
Now. I can't believe.
Let us know when you get to the Super Bowl.
I'll tell you what. Michael, I have to go.
Let us know how the Super Bowl goes.
My battery. There's a lot of fucking shit going on.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Steve.
We're doing it live. Mox News Radio. Over here reporting live from the fucking Amazon. A bunch of anacondas and snakes, caimans, fucking shit everywhere. You cannot find a toilet out here. you have to defecate out here on the fucking dirt, and that's actually legal.
Okay.
People need to figure this shit out. I am getting to the bottom of the real news, Michael.
I know you are, Steve. You keep up the good work. Talk to you soon.
I'm getting straight to the bottom where the defecation completely comes from.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
We're doing it. Over and out.
Steve McClanahan calling from South America, I guess. Not in quarantine any longer. Okay, so, and that's my beautiful baby. You're surrounded by my other beautiful babies. Let's see. I will. Oh, we were just about to play impeachment clip before we were so rudely interrupted. So I guess we'll play that in just a minute here. I'm going to play the impeachment clip, and then we'll see if anybody else wants to do a something, and then otherwise, a phone call. Otherwise, we will. Okay, impeachment update clip is clip number. Impeachment update is clip number 6.
Turn now to the impeachment trial of President Trump. In that dramatic moment today, the Chief Justice refusing to read one senator's question, that senator storming out. And tonight, the battle now over John Bolton. Do Republicans have the votes to block him from testifying? That vote expected tomorrow. And if there's a tie, will the Chief Justice play any role? Mary Bruce up on the Hill again tonight.
For the first time today in the Senate impeachment trial, Chief Justice John Roberts flexing his authority, refusing to read a question submitted by one of the senators.
Senator from Kentucky.
Republican Senator Rand Paul attempting to use his question to out the suspected whistleblower who sparked this impeachment inquiry, but Roberts shut him down.
Presiding officer declines to read the question as submitted.
Senator Paul then storming out of the Senate chamber. Today, Democrats took aim at the Trump team's stunning new line of defense, as spelled out by his lawyer, Alan Dershowitz.
And if a president does something which he believes will help him get elected in the public interest, that cannot be the kind of quid pro quo that results in impeachment.
Democrats exasperated.
But what we have seen over the last couple days is a descent into constitutional madness. Now, the only reason you make that argument is because you know your client is guilty and dead to rights.
Today, Trump's lawyers pressed on whether a president is allowed to ask a foreign government to investigate his American political opponents.
Yes, if there was a conduct by a U.S. person overseas that potentially violated the law of that country, but didn't violate the law of this country, but there was a national interest in having some information about that.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong in the United States of America.
And the Federal Election Commission and Trump's own FBI director agreed. Tonight, with the prospect for new witnesses dimming, Democrats are urging Republicans to look at the polls and listen to the American people.
They believe a trial should have witness testimony, and they want to hear from John Bolton.
Mary Bruce live back up on the Capitol tonight. And Mary, the Senate is expected to vote on witnesses we know tomorrow, also expected to be very close. And a lot of people have been asking if there's a tie, what happens then? Could Chief Justice Roberts cast a deciding vote?
Well, David, Republicans tonight are confident that they have the votes to block witnesses, but a tie here is possible. And if that happens, then a vote to call witnesses would fail. But tonight there is some disagreement between the two sides about the rules and whether the Chief Justice could then step in. But given his record, it seems highly unlikely that he would. David.
Mary Bruce with us again tonight. Thank you, Mary. And this evening, a second video has now emerged of President Trump with Rudy Giuliani's associate, Lev Parnas. The president has said he does not know him. Parnas has claimed he worked to pressure Ukraine to investigate the president's political rivals. Let's get right to our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, with us live tonight. And Pierre, what have you learned about this newly released video?
David, the new tape shows indicted Rudy Giuliani associate led parties at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort at a small fundraising event. The April 2018 gathering was 10 days before another event caught on tape where Parnas and President Trump are at a small private dinner at Trump Hotel in Washington, where they discuss Ukraine. David, these videos challenge the president's assertions that he does not know Parnas.
Pierre Thomas with us tonight. Pierre, thank you.
Okay, so I thought that was interesting. That Rand Paul's trying to out the whistleblower, and that the justice wouldn't allow him to do it. Chief Justice. My UPS driver asked me if he could buy some weed off me today. I'm like, dude, I don't sell weed. I never have. I was like, just come over to the house and I'll give you some. He was like, do you have any of those candies left? I was like, yeah, man. I'll give you a bag of candies, and I give you some of my brownies, and I'll give you some of the dog's cookies. I'll get you hooked up. It's like the first time I've ever seen him where he didn't have a big beaming smile on his face. So I really want to give him the hookup. I give him a big fat nug too, but he didn't stop by this afternoon. Hopefully we'll wander around with some stuff for him tomorrow. We'll find him. We see him every time. When he drives, when we're walking the dogs, when I'm walking the dogs, and he drives by, he fucking pulls the UPS truck over and gets out to give me a hug, and then gets back in and goes about his thing. He's a very nice man. So. But I don't sell weed. I never have. I've hooked people up when they needed hookup before. I have this billionaire acquaintance friend, right? Amazon billionaire guy. Man, he called me one time after I hadn't heard from him for like 6 months or something, and he's like, hey man, can you get me some weed? And I was like, fuck you. Because again, I got this thing, I got this hard on for billionaires, man. Everybody fucking sucks their balls. There's got to be 1,000 people he probably could have called that would just love to get him a fucking sack. And he fucking calls me. I'm like, fuck you. I haven't heard from you for fucking 6 months, and you call me and want me to get you a hookup? Fuck you, Mr. Billionaire Man. You know? I do that shit a lot. And then after that, he put me on his Christmas party list, and he was like, actually, he has parties like every 3 or 4 months, and he has put me on the list. And so every 3 months, I was invited to his parties. And then shortly after that, like about a month later, the movie V for Vendetta came out, and he called me and he's like, you have to come see this movie. He said, like, this is a very important movie, and I really want you to come see this. Billionaire guy who can get anybody who wants to go to the movies calls me. He's like, really, you got to come see this movie with me. All right, no problem. And which was nice. I mean, it was good to see it on the big screen. I might not have seen it on the big screen if he hadn't come and taken me. And he was a filmmaker too. He got some kind of like a producer nominee for a film, for an Oscar for a film that he made like 15 years ago or something. He invited us to the premiere of that too. He's okay guy. I mean, he's kind of weird, but it just, I know that everybody wants to fucking bow down and suck these billionaire guys' balls, and I fucking bitch slapped him again and again. I had to show up in court one time, and he showed up there because he knew when my court date was, and he sat in the courtroom with me, waiting to see the judge. He's not a bad guy. I just can't. I can't, be all smiley pants for these billionaire guys. Just can't do it. Okay, so let's see. I got who wanted to see? JB wanted to see the Hillary clip again. I will be happy to play that for you. Because he missed it earlier, and I thought it was a pretty good, kind of interesting clip. Where is that at? Let's see. Where the fuck is the Hillary clip? Am I looking at the wrong one? Oh, number 9. It's the last one. Last one on the list. Okay, so you want to see the Hillary clip? Is that correct? Okay, we'll play the Hillary clip.
Well, Bernie Sanders staffers, some of them want to tear down the law. Hillary Clinton floats above it like a zeppelin. Clinton was recently hit with a $50 million defamation suit from Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, whom she described as a Russian plant. But now, according to Gabbard's lawyer, Hillary Clinton is refusing to be served with the lawsuit. She's not going to be served. She's like the one person in America who's not participating. A process server approached her home on Tuesday to deliver the lawsuit, but was turned back by the Secret Service. Howie Carr is a radio host and author of What Really Happened. He joins us now. Howie, most of us in journalism have been served. I've been served in my boxer shorts at home, maybe a dozen times over the years. I didn't know that sending the Secret Service out to shoo them away was an option.
Yeah, who does she think she is, Tucker? A member of the Biden family? Even Hunter Biden in his recent paternity suit, he accepts service. It's a civic responsibility like jury duty or paying taxes. Everybody has to accept service. And this is not, though, too surprising when you think that she's also defied subpoenas, which are even more serious, congressional subpoenas. They wanted to get their hands on the emails from her private server. It was government property. And not only did she defy the subpoena, she destroyed the government property, the government evidence. So, this is just, this is just another day at the office for her. And Tucker, here's the question. if you'd have had a Secret Service agent to go out and tell the person, just tell them to get lost. What would you do? This is their MO. The Clintons have always operated this way.
But you get to use a government employee working at taxpayer expense, collecting, I'm sure, a lot of overtime, to opt out of the system. This is, I gotta admire the brass this shows. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm not participating in your stupid civil justice system. I'm just not playing along. Who does that?
I love Tulsi's lawyer said, what is she, intimidated? This is the woman who wanted to be the leader of the free world. She had the ad, I'll be there at 3 a.m. to take the call. And she's intimidated by something that most adults have to deal with occasionally. It's not a pleasant process. But, what about the line from the old TV show, don't do the crime if you can't do the time?
Yeah. Does this work on your taxes? Can you just send the Secret Service out to say to the IRS, I'm sorry, it's just too much. I'm just not paying this year. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Well, she said that when she destroyed the 33,000 emails. She said, I know you've got this espionage investigation going, but my lawyers and I have decided what's germane to the, and we've destroyed 33,000 emails, and it's, and these allegations against Tulsi Gabbard are so ridiculous. And she also said Jill Stein was a Russian agent who was basically acting as her agent by demanding all the recounts in the immediate aftermath of the election. She's ready
Hillary's
to get into the
women,
race,
except
Tucker.
ones who are in the way, and they're the Russian agents. Yeah, it's pretty. Most of us are pretty convinced that if we flouted the law, we'd be punished. But Hillary somehow gets away with it. It's just amazing. Howie Carr, thank you for that perspective. Good to see you.
Thank you, Tucker.
And that clip is what the show title's all about. Is that I'm watching this and I'm thinking this seems to be one of the main purposes of the Secret Service is to prevent any of these people who they protect from ever having to see any type of justice. If we actually ever did come up with arrest warrants for George W. Bush, the Secret Service wouldn't allow us to get close enough to him, or Dick Cheney. The Secret Service would say no. So, and of course they own property in places where you can't be extradited from, just in case. So certainly they can get their way to the airport and onto a plane and out of the fucking country before we ever could actually lock them down, especially with the Secret Service help, which they've made clear with this particular event. That is their purpose. Their purpose is to keep these people from ever having to see the slightest amount of justice, never having to face any kind of justice. So I think the Secret Service is probably an organization that we can deal without also, along with the DEA and the FBI. I don't think we need any of these people. I think that all that they do is cloud the situation. I think we need our local police departments and probably some type of an oversight bureau of the local police departments, a federal oversight of the local police departments. Someone to keep track of who the actual serial killer cops are, which is something that we don't have now. Cops will go and kill someone, and then and they'll do it wrongly, and then they'll get fired from their job, and then they'll just go to another police department, and then they'll kill someone else. And I'm sure that there are cops out there right now who are serial killers. They kill people for their own pleasure. And they're able to get away with it because they have a badge and the backing of the silent blue line. So we deserve better, and it's not that complicated. We don't need a DEA. The DEA has brought us an opioid epidemic, right? and we don't need an FBI because the FBI is just full of shit. And we don't need a Department of Homeland Security because we did not have one before 2001. And the only purpose of Department of Homeland Security seems to be preparing your local police departments for martial law by giving them military type uniforms. They don't give it to them. They give them grants. The Department of Homeland Security gives your local police department massive amounts of money so that they can buy things like military style police uniforms, so they can buy things like armored vehicles, all kinds of stuff like that. All kinds of stuff that your local police department absolutely does not need. Okay, so all we have to do is end the drug war. If we end the drug war, then what would we need the DEA for? We don't. We know. And who's going to end the drug war? Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang. Those are the three that have clearly stated that the drug war must end. So we end the drug war, and from the way I understand things is that 80% of all crime is drug related, which means somehow drugs are tied to it one way or another, right? So if we end even 50% of all crime by ending the drug war, we don't need the DEA anymore, right? We don't need the FBI. The crime's under control. What would we need the FBI for? What is it that they do anyways? Well, we don't need and we're gonna need half as many fucking police, hopefully. Because crime is down 50%. So why would we need all these cops, right? We could maybe stop building prisons and start building fucking schools. Wouldn't that be nice? And all these cops, right? These cops who say that they just want to make it home to their families at night. I feared for my life and I just wanted to make it home to my family at night. Okay, well then let's end the drug war, right? And if that's going to end 80% of crime, then that's going to make it so that your life is much, 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 much less at risk, right? So let's do that. That will be a good thing for everyone. It's so simple. It's so simple, and yet because of this because of this fucking psyop bullshit from this government. You know, this government just is full of shit. You know, like I said, all the pillars of our community are full of shit. They have to be torn down so that we can begin to rebuild them and not fill them with shit. Okay? And step one, a great step one would be ending the drug war. That would be a great step one to making a future that's a better place for everyone. That's the facts, Jack. All right. Do you want to see impeachment update video, or did I play it? No, I played the impeachment. I have the coronavirus update video left. Did you want to see that video? If you do, I can play it. That I thought that, but I thought the Hillary Clinton one, where she's avoiding the Tulsi Gabbard $50 million defamation lawsuit by using the Secret Service, I thought that was really important, and that's why I made it the topic of tonight's. You know, because I'm so tired of these douchebags who can commit crimes and then act like the law doesn't apply to them. You know, we don't get those. We don't get that kind of get out of jail free bullshit in the goddamn over-intrusive police state that wants to know what the fuck and who the fuck you're fucking in your own goddamn bedroom. Fuck this fucking bullshit government. Okay? Again and again and again. Until it's dead. Okay? That's our only hope. Recognize who the real enemy is and know that your neighbors are not the ones that threaten your future. Your freedom. Your neighbors are not the ones that threaten your neighbors are not the ones to be scared of. China is not the one that threatens your future. Your freedom. Iran is not the one who threatens your freedom. Iran is not the one taking away your freedom on a daily basis. ISIS is not the ones taking away your freedom. It's the goddamn cocksuckers in Washington, D.C. Both sides, happily, hand in hand, Republicans and Democrats, red and blue, walking hand in hand, happily, with big giant smiles on their faces, every day, taking away more and more and more of your freedom. Every day, acting like your freedom is somehow a personal threat to them. That's what kind of bullshit government we have now. And it's got to end. Because we all deserve better, and it's our government. And we can make it end if we can just get beyond these stupid labels that we not only attach to other people, we attach to ourselves on a regular basis. Okay? These labels do you no good. If they're attached to you, if you attach them to someone else, you do it solely to disregard that person 99% of the time. The other part of the time, it's like, oh, that's one of the good guys. You know, they don't need these labels, okay? They don't serve you well, okay? And the last thing you want to do is attach some retarded label to yourself, like Republican or Democrat or liberal, or, you know, you're so much more than that. You're this free-thinking, top of the food chain, big-brained, upright walking, you know, king of the jungle. And to fucking boil that down to liberal or conservative is to limit that greatly. You deserve better. Don't buy into the bullshit. Okay? I believe in you. I know you are the ones that we are waiting for. I know this in my heart. You have to be. There are no other options.
You need to press 1 to take this call.
Hello, caller.
Hey, Mox, what's up?
Just doing my thing, man. What's up with you?
Oh, I'm just sitting here watching you do your thing, man.
What's your name?
Mike.
Hey, Mike. It's good to hear from you. Where you calling from?
Indiana.
Indiana. So,
Yeah.
were you the one in the chat here talking about Mike Pence?
Yeah, that's me.
That guy. How in the fuck? How can that guy pretend to be who he pretends to be and stand next to Donald Trump, dude?
I don't know, man. It's like little Damien.
Yeah.
He really is. I mean, he was not going to win re-election as governor.
Yeah.
And everyone in Indiana, or at least most people I know, were completely surprised that he ended up getting on as the VP nod. And I think it was just because the Republicans could run a different governor, and because the person that was going to beat him in the governor's race was just running on an anti-Mike Pence platform. So as soon as he jumped to be the VP, they were able to get this no-name Republican in there, and that's what we got now.
Huh. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, it really is, man. I mean, so I hear you talking. I mean, obviously, long-time listener,
Right
first-time caller.
Right on. Well, glad to have you. Thanks for calling. I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate everything you do, buddy.
Thanks.
So my question, though, is, I mean, obviously, the Republicans, the Democrats, two sides of the same coin, right?
I agree. I think so. They're both supporters of endless wars based on lies that are doing nothing but harming the American public.
Okay, so here's one thing that I don't understand, though. How can people claim that they are exactly the same? Because I know they're two heads of the same coin. They serve the same party structure. But obviously, there are two separate sets of standards.
You see, I think what you're buying into is that they have these pretend agendas that are the theater that is them speaking to the suckers of their tribe. See, the deal for me is that they're the same, they're just talking to different suckers, okay? So these suckers over here are pro-choice, and these suckers over here are are pro-life, and we say, oh, and we make it like a life or death situation where if we don't fucking get this right, babies are gonna die, or women are gonna have to fucking die because they have this thing, and just it's like. But nothing ever changes, okay? So it sounds like that this is like the most important thing that we can ever make happen in the world, and then nothing ever gets done. You hear what I'm saying? So it's not that they're different. They just pretend like they're different.
Well, so I understand that. I understand that they are both playing to two different sets of people that are concerned about these social issues. And to a large extent, that's how they can drum up their support and their donations, okay? But when you get down to the actual, like, nitty-gritty legislating, I don't see an equal playing field. I feel like the Republicans, I mean, it's almost like their base, not rooted in fact whatsoever. They just trust their guy, and they don't trust the Democrats. So facts be damned, do what they're going to do. And what I feel like the Democrats, or at least the Democrat supporters, their problem is like they pay too much attention so that they're always fighting with each other. They can never agree on anything, and they're never united to the extent that the Republicans are united. Does that make sense?
I think I understand what you're perceiving. I perceive it a little bit differently when you say united. What I see is that the Republicans act more like they're going to stand their ground, and the Democrats act more like they're ready to negotiate all the time. And it's because the Republicans
which Democrats are you talking about?
It's because the Republicans are the neocons, and the Democrats are basically the neocons light.
You mean the neolibs?
They're neocons light, dude. There's no liberals. There's no fucking liberals.
Okay. I mean, I guess I equate neoconservatism and neoliberalism as kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well then they're the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Is that you know, it's because they do they may act differently. Again, that's how they get support for the voters. Is that they're just they're talking to different audiences, but nothing ever gets done with this thing, right? Like they act like abortion is the most important thing we can possibly, and nothing ever happens. You know, the gun people talk about the guns. Oh, they're going to take our guns. The Democrats, right? The Democrats had control with Barack Obama in the White House of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and there was these shootings going on every other fucking day, and they were acting like it was the fucking worst thing in the whole fucking world, and we had to make something happen right now, and they never did a fucking thing. This is what I'm saying. It's all theater, man. It's all theater.
So, I mean, I don't think I've ever really seen any Democrats actually really go against guns. I mean, you've got like guys like Beto O'Rourke, who were fading from relevancy, so they were trying to like throw darts at a board to see something could get stuck, and he started talking nonsense about that stuff. And I mean, I don't know very much about what's going on in Virginia, but you got that joker and the governor in Virginia who's trying to, pass whatnot, but I don't really see it like the gun thing has never ever been playing any Democratic platform that I know of.
Yeah, and that's because the truth is that the American people do not want you fucking with our guns. You know?
Yeah.
And it's not that they don't want common sense gun laws, in quotes. It's that they don't trust anyone in Washington, D.C. to fuck with any of their constitutional rights. Because every time they do, it winds up something like, oh, we can spy on every single American now. You know? Because they're fucking, because the vow that they took is goddamn meaningless.
Yeah. So, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is, I mean, it can be true that they are both the same, but they are different at the same time. Okay? And what I'm trying to point out is that, like, as somebody who's trying to do my, due diligence, and I don't want to be one of these guys that just sits on the sidelines and say, oh, they all sign loyalty oaths, and everything's corrupt, and it's all just like WWE wrestling. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our founding fathers fought a revolution. We had kings and queens for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and I'm not ready to give up this whole democratic thing just quite yet. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, if we're going to practice our due diligence and educate ourselves and try to make an informed decision about who we're going to vote on, I don't understand how people could possibly think that the Republicans are going to change anything. I mean, it seems to me that the only chance we have is the Party. And I will give you the fact that, like, the Democratic Party is corrupt and there are gatekeepers in there. And the gatekeepers are in there because that's the only shot of change that we have for the better. Because the Republicans are just going to be status quo every year. It's just going to be the same exact stuff. They're going to give tax breaks to the rich. They're going to give all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think the only chance that we have with this upcoming election, honestly, is Bernie Sanders. And I don't think that we have really any chance of change with the Democrats. But they keep, the Democrats themselves will tell you Bernie Sanders is not a real Democrat. The Democratic.
What Democrats are we talking about? Are we talking about Democrats that are voting Democrat?
We're
or
talking
are we
about Democrat
leadership?
elite. Yeah, the leadership.
Yeah, the party leadership,
Yeah,
right? So
they tell you. No. They tell you that Bernie Sanders is not a real Democrat. They say things like nobody even likes him. So the fact is, when you realize that Republican and Democrat in Congress are a bunch of motherfucking criminals, the last thing you want is somebody who's liked by them. Okay? So again, I don't think there's any hope for the Democrats, but when you have somebody that they're saying this is not a real Democrat, like they said about Tulsi Gabbard, those are people that actually might be able to get in there and make some fucking real change, like ending the drug war.
Okay, do you think there's any chance that we could have a reform movement in any of these parties?
Well, I hope for a great reform movement that fucking that eliminates the parties. The problem is
I would like to see the parties get eliminated too. I just don't see us doing that.
Well,
I mean,
I know that it's hard to see, but it's a matter of the people coming together in a voice and being heard. The problem is now our voices are so scattered and separated that we're not being heard, or we're only being heard by small groups who really don't matter. So, but I think Bernie Sanders has been hearing us for a long time, and that's the reason that they say he's not a real Democrat, is because he actually hears us and he actually cares about what we want. So, unlike.
How do you feel about the Squad?
I think the Squad has a lot of potential. They seem to be backing the hell out of Bernie Sanders.
I mean, the Squad was started by the Justice Democrats and the Wolf Pack, which was started by Kyle Kalinske and Cenk Uygur, and their whole stated goal is to get money out of politics, to support candidates that take a pledge not to accept corporate PAC donations or money from the fossil fuel industry.
Yeah, I think.
So how can we just turn our back on the parties and say that, hey, the Democrats and the Republicans are all the same, when you got these social Democrats that are like the representing the grassroots of the Democratic Party. Okay. And they're representing like this new wave that the old elite establishment of the Democratic Party are terrified of. And there's this huge gap in leadership now that AOC was able to take Crowley's spot in New York, and Pelosi has nobody to give the reins off to now.
Yeah. Well, I think I hear what you're saying, and I hope that pans out well. I really do. I would love. There's nothing I like to see more than having people that are outspoken and pushing the elite's buttons, because especially in their own party, because I think that's where the voices really need to come from. It's like when people speak out against Israel. I wish there was more Jewish voices in Hollywood, because those people have a loud microphone and they should be standing up to speak out, but they don't. So I really do appreciate the AOC and them calling out the elite more and more, and the Democratic Party as a whole. So I do see some potential there, but we have to wait to see if it pans out a little more, because right now they're somewhat limited.
This whole thing obviously is incredibly frustrating, and thank you so much for doing such a great job of curating your content. I mean, you've kept a lot of us sane over a decade now.
Well,
okay, so we really appreciate that, all of us. I'm sure.
I think you're giving me
a little
more credit than I deserve. But I'm just trying to do the right thing. I'm a real simple guy, and I saw a hole in the YouTube that needed to be filled, and I think I've done a pretty good job filling it.
So, another question real quick for you. Did you see this thing on RFK Jr. on Russia Today tonight?
No, I didn't see it. What was it?
Where he was on talking about the HPV vaccine. And there's this new major study that has pointed towards its ineffectiveness. It's not effective at all.
Yeah. Well, I just think
I hadn't seen RFK Jr. on TV in a while, and I know he's a big vaccine guy.
Yeah, I think it's horrible that they're having kids do this like vaccine for HPV. It's I just think that's disgusting. Honestly, I don't think I really think the vaccine should be up to the parents, but they're like forcing kids to take that vaccine, and that's just wrong in my opinion.
Yeah, it's getting crazy over where you are. At least that's all the clips I see are all in Washington with all those crazy hippie parents, right?
Well, there's a lot of freedom people in the Northwest, and people.
Of course, I was saying that facetiously. Like the crazy hippie parents are the parents I wish I had.
People don't like being told what to do, man.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to their children and how to protect them and stuff. And I mean, they're gonna. Some people are gonna do all the research they can, and then they're gonna go with what their gut tells them, and or what their big brain tells them, and it doesn't matter what fucking some piece of shit doctor or government has to say, because we know that they're full of shit. How many fucking generations have we heard the government and the piece of shit doctors tell us marijuana has no medicinal value? I mean, fuck you. You're just, I mean, any fucking idiot knows better than that, and I'm just so disgusted by the whole thing, man. It's just the whole the pillars of our community, the medical association, the police, the politicians, the religions are just all fucking full of shit. The people that we're supposed to turn to when there's no one else, right? They're just completely fucking full of shit, and the good people of this planet deserve better. That's all I'm saying.
We do, man. We deserve better.
Yeah.
We deserve better, man. What are we gonna do? What's the game plan in the 21st century, Mark?
Well, we have to recognize again who the real enemy is. That's been a big part of what my work on YouTube has been about from the beginning. The people who want to keep us in these endless wars. That's the real enemy. The people who pass laws that limit our freedom, who say that, we can't fucking speak out against Israel. We can't boycott, divest, and sanction. We can't support that movement because it's against Israel. Those people are a serious threat to our Constitution, and they've taken a vow to protect it, which means I think that they're verging on being treasonous with shit like that.
It almost seems like our leaders have sold us out to the point where we are the exact bad guys that we were raised to be afraid of this entire time.
It kind of, huh, man? We're the evildoers on the planet.
Yeah, it's like the next 100 years, the rest of these countries are going to look at us as the evil Nazis.
It's entirely possible. But that's why I fought to bring the troops home, man. Because our troops deserve better than that. They don't deserve to be put into harm's way and away from their families just to be fucking the Nazis of the world. Fuck that, man. The world's police? Fuck that. We don't need police. I keep saying we ourselves don't need the fucking police. The last thing we need to do is go out and fucking act like we should be policing the whole goddamn world. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's like it's like your American prophets talk about. Team America. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I love those guys. Yeah, and they're fucking brilliant. You're right. They saw so much of that shit coming. Man, you go and you watch South Park the movie, bigger, longer, uncut. You watch that. That shit is totally prophetic, man. And it's all about free speech, and it's all about the coming war. Those guys are brilliant, dude.
Yeah, and one of the greatest musicals ever made as well.
Yeah, I agree. That's what some of the greatest musical makers, like Roger Sondheim or something. One of the greatest.
Sondheim.
Yeah, he said that it was one of the top 5 musicals ever made. Amazing.
Yeah, that's a big endorsement right there, man. That guy's got more Tonys than anyone, just about.
Right. Hey, Mike, it's really good to hear from you, man. I'm glad you called.
Yeah. Like I said, I watch all the time, Mox. It's hard to call in because I'm actually working the 3rd shift right now at a gym, so I got to be at my front desk.
Well,
but I watch you, and every time you yell, "Eat more marijuana," I got to turn it down. I got to turn it down over in Indiana, man.
Well, those people need to hear it too, Mike.
You're right. They need to hear it more so than all the others, but this is a family establishment we got here.
Yeah. Again, I appreciate it. It's really good to hear from you, and I look forward to sometime in the not-too-distant future talking with you again soon, okay?
Okay, you have a great night, Mark. Thanks again for everything you do.
Okay, thanks, Mike. See ya. And that's our buddy Mike from Indiana, first-time caller. I do have, I'm going to play the coronavirus update for you now. And I'll be right back.
Thursday night, and we begin with that new case, the first human-to-human case of the coronavirus here in the U.S. A couple in Chicago, the woman just back from China, and her husband now has it. It comes as the World Health Organization tonight has now declared the outbreak a global health emergency after a 10-fold jump in cases in just a week. And in a sign authorities are taking this very seriously, a cruise ship has been quarantined in an Italian harbor. 7,000 people on board were waiting to find out whether a sick passenger from China had the coronavirus. And those Americans who had been evacuated from China, we showed you the pictures last night to that military base in California. They have now learned that if any of them tests positive for the virus, they'll all be quarantined for 2 weeks. ABC's Steve Osunsami leads us off. He's outside the CDC in Atlanta tonight.
As health officials were declaring a global emergency today, this was the scene outside pharmacies across Asia where they were running out of face masks and people are desperate to protect themselves. Here in the U.S., what authorities have been predicting for more than a week has happened in Chicago, the nation's first person-to-person transmission of coronavirus. A man in his 60s got it from his wife. She returned from China January 13th, symptom-free, and felt sick 3 days later. Both husband and wife are hospitalized tonight in isolation.
I recognize that this news may raise people's concern, but I want to state clearly that this development is something we have been prepared for.
Outside China, there are now 98 confirmed cases of people sick with this respiratory disease, and 6 of those cases are here in America. The nearly 200 passengers who landed in California from Wuhan, China Wednesday are learning some disturbing news tonight. If just one of them tests positive for the coronavirus, they all may need to remain in quarantine at this military base for 2 weeks.
Our accommodations here on base.
It's supposed to be voluntary, and they were supposed to be able to leave by Saturday. A passenger who tried to get up and leave today was ordered by authorities to stay. Inside China, an epidemic. More than 8,000 people are sick and more than 170 dead. More cases than the SARS outbreak that swept through that country in 2003. Hundreds of Americans are still stuck there trying to get home. Priscilla Dickey and her daughter are 2 of them.
It's an interesting feeling. You're trapped, you're isolated.
U.S. authorities are scheduling another flight to Wuhan, China to pick up stranded Americans, and it could fly as early as Monday. In Italy, a coronavirus scare nearly ended this cruise. Our correspondent, Maggie Rulli, is there.
More than 6,000 passengers and crew were trapped on this cruise ship for more than 12 hours after a woman started showing flu-like symptoms. Now, a short time ago, her test came back negative for coronavirus, but authorities say this cruise ship quarantine shows just how high anxiety is right now around the globe.
There's a possible vaccine that's on the way, but it's still months away from clinical trials.
All right, so let's get to Steve. He's live outside the CDC in Atlanta tonight. And Steve, so many watching this unfold, not only here in the U.S., but around the world. What are the symptoms of coronavirus and who are authorities saying are most susceptible?
Well, authorities say that the symptoms are fever, cough, and shortness of breath, and they're really paying attention to anyone who has traveled to or from the affected region. But they point out that these symptoms are very similar to the flu, which has been much more deadly. They say in the U.S. this season, more than 8,000 estimated deaths in the U.S. this flu season alone. David?
Steve Osunsami leading us off tonight. Thank you, Steve, and we'll stay on it.
Okie dokie. Okay, so that's my last clip. And again, I played the clip earlier of the flu compared to, the influenza, the flu compared to the coronavirus. The flu is a much, much bigger threat to Americans at this point, and we pay no attention to it. So don't let the hype on the coronavirus get to you. Okay, it's just that. It's hype until it's something else. Until there's people in your neighborhood coughing on you, then we'll worry about it, okay? You hear what I'm saying? Give it a couple weeks. Yeah, the preppers were right. Yeah, they're right. We're all gonna die? That kind of right? Of course, we're all gonna die. I mean, that's just the way it is. Get over it. We're all gonna die, man. Get over it. There ain't nothing you can do. What's happening? Why am I mini? All right. Anyway, so yeah. Okay. So anyways, let's see. We are today is today Thursday? Is it Thursday today? I think it's Thursday. So tomorrow's Friday, and we do dabs for donations on Friday. So I hope we see you there. Same Mox time, same Mox channel, which we're doing the live call-in show every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And it's just not the same without you. So I really appreciate you guys showing up, and I really enjoy having conversation with you. So let's see what we got. Hello, caller.
Michael, this is Steve McClanahan.
Hey, Steve. How are you?
Oh, my God, Michael. I'm in the fucking middle of the goddamn Amazon.
Lucky.
Jungle. The jungle.
Lucky.
Have you ever watched the fucking TV show called Naked and Afraid? Okay? Well, no. I'm not naked. I have like really good Walmart shoes on. I mean, you have to be able to understand what it takes to be out here as a journalist in the fucking middle of the Amazon. And I swear to fucking God, Michael, super bullshit, Tron! It's bullshitting. Why are we even still here? Why the fuck are we still here, super bullshit, Tron? Michael's on the line. Do you want to talk to him? This fucking guy has not talked to me for the last hour.
I told you to tell him to go home. He's worthless. He got you out. Now get rid of him.
I swear to God, Michael, I'm glad I do not have this on fucking speakerphone. He does not need that kind of motivation. I'm trying to get him to motivate himself to get me the fuck out of here, and he won't fucking do it.
You're better off on your own, Steve. You're very good self-motivator.
Oh my God, Michael, I need my fucking buddy. Super bullshitron. Dude, Michael's on the line. Here, Michael, I'm going to tell him. He said go home.
Yeah,
he said go home, super bullshitron.
Quit your bitch ass whining and go home.
Yeah, quit your bitch ass whining. Super bullshitron. No, Michael is... Michael, God damn it. Super bullshitron. Seriously, bro. Super Bowl is on
Sunday. God, we are in the Amazon, dude. Seriously, can we get out of here? This guy will not fucking talk to me. He's sitting over there on a goddamn rock, just like pulling fucking leaves off a stick. And he's giving me a hard time. Right now. Super bullshitron. We were hanging out earlier. We were doing okay. Why does this have to be so fucking hard, dude? Just fucking like use the fucking green lasers out of your hands and just chop down the trees. We were having so much fun, Super Bullshitron. Dude, Michael is on the line. He's on the line. I know you don't care. I know that you don't fucking care. You can just fucking... You can do anything. Do anything. That's why everybody loves you. And everybody fucking loves each other. In reality. I know that you're fucking... I know you're bummed out, dude, but you know what? It's okay. Super Bullshitron. God damn it, I want to get the fuck out of the Amazon. And I'm trying to be motivational here, Super Bullshitron. I know, it's probably not a reality. It's probably not a reality. Look at me. Look at me, Super Bullshitron. We are friends. We are friends. We are here in the Amazon. I understand. It's hard. But we can do this together. You don't have to go home like Michael said. Michael, that motherfucker, I swear to God, he will give you a hard time, Super Bullshitron. I tell you what, we'll talk to Michael. Michael, do you want to talk to Super Bullshitron? I'm trying to get him motivated, Michael!
I get him motivated.
He's sitting over here on a goddamn rock in the middle of fucking Amazon. He doesn't even know what to do. And he's a superhero. It's pathetic.
Tell him to get his bitch ass back in the kitchen and make you some pot pie.
Get your bitch ass in the kitchen and make your bitch ass a fucking pot pie for yourself. It's okay. You can do that. You can make it. You can do this. You can whip it up from scratch. You can look up all these fucking recipes on YouTube. They're on there. And they're great. Super Bullshitron, we don't have to be here in the Amazon anymore. We don't have to be doing this. The Super Bowl is on Sunday. Everybody else is going to be watching, but we're all bummed out here in the Amazon. I know. Thank you for busting me out, bro. You are the shit. Let's do something fun now. Because I'm out of jail.
All right,
Was
Steve.
that the funnest thing? Damn it.
We got to go, Steve. We got to go.
All right, well...
Good luck with that.
At least tell Super Bullshitron and tell the Mox News listeners that we care about fucking Super Bullshitron. Could you at least do that?
No.
So that, you know, maybe he would cheer up and get me the fuck out of the goddamn Amazon. I know he doesn't care, but I tell you what, he likes to comment. I tell you what, he's in there. He's like commenting a million miles an hour.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, you are, Super Bullshitron. You comment 1,000 miles an hour on a bunch of bullshit. It doesn't matter. Clearly, you're not schooling me now, Mr. Bullshitron. You dumb fuck.
Hey, Steve, we got to go.
Jesus fucking Christ. I just want to get the fuck out of here, Michael. This
Okay,
is bullshit.
Steve. Well, you can do it. You don't
Yeah,
need, you
well,
don't
okay,
need him to do it.
Michael.
You don't need him. You've done this many times on your own. So stop acting
Michael, you know
stop
what?
acting like
Goddammit.
you need him.
Time is running out. I'm sick of creating.
Okay, Steve. It's good to hear from you. Stay strong, man. Talk to you soon.
God. Well, all right, fine. I have to let you go.
Okay.
Right now.
All right.
Okay.
Talk to you
well,
soon.
I'm getting off the line.
Okay.
I'm hanging up first.
Okay, you do that.
You do that.
Okay, got it. Thanks. Bye.
No, you.
Okay, Steve McClanahan reporting from the Amazon, apparently. Okay, I'm out of clips, and we need to have some food. We do. So I'm going to go make that happen. But thanks again for tuning in, because this would be a meaningless endeavor without you guys. That's how much value you add to this programming. So there would be absolutely there'd just be no reason to do it without you. So I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. It's Dabs for Donations Friday, and we'll see if we can come up with something good, some good clips for you. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. I hope we see you here. Same Mox time, same Mox channel. Stay cool. One of these days, this war is going to end.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.